Hello everyone, this is Prem Sodani coming up with the next round of our new initiative, that is Editorials Decoded. So in today's session we are going to discuss this editorial which appeared in The Hindu, that is MP-leds and why they must go, right? So first we'll understand, this is the article which appeared in the Hindu newspaper. First we'll understand why they are saying in this editorial that this particular scheme, especially MP-led scheme, should go or must go. What are the issues? So first we'll discuss a little background. In the year of 2020, in April, this scheme was discontinued by the central government, and they said they are going to utilize the funds of 5 crore which are being provided to each MP each year under this scheme in health services, in health sectors, right? And now this scheme has been resumed again. So what are the provisions of this scheme and what are the arguments which goes against this particular scheme, we are going to discuss in this editorial section, right? So let's get started with this scheme. So this is, again, I already told you, this has been resumed once again. So first we'll understand what is MP-led scheme. So it was the year of 1993 when this scheme was launched, and in the initial year it was under Ministry of Rural Development, right? Ministry of Rural Development, but later after 1 year this was shifted under Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, right? So now this scheme works under this MOSPI, right? Now this is a central sectoral scheme that you should know, and the second thing you should know, that is the ministry, that is MOSPI. Now each year every MP gets 5 crore rupees in two installments, that is 2.5 crore and 2.5 crore. This 5 crore rupees can be utilized by the district administration, and especially in some works which are being recommended by these MPs. So MP's role is recommendatory role. Ultimate implementation lies with the district authority, that is district collector. Okay, so this is the MP-led scheme, means 5 crore rupees are to be utilized by the district authority on the recommendation of this MP. Okay, now you should understand type of MPs. So there are two type of MPs, one is from Lok Sabha, one is from Rajya Sabha. So when it comes to the Rajya Sabha's MP, they have to use this money in the area, in the state from where they are being elected. They are elected from, right? So for example, if some MP is from Rajasthan, then he has to use this money in whole state of Rajasthan. Wherever he wants, he can use this money. But in case of Lok Sabha MP, he has to use his money in the area from where he is being elected or he is elected from, right? It means in his own constituency, right? So these are two type of MPs, and where they are going to use the funds, we have understood this one, right? This is MP-led scheme. Now what are the arguments why we are saying in this editorial this scheme should be discontinued? So let's discuss all the arguments against this particular scheme. The first argument which is discussed in this article is that this scheme is against the principle of separation of power. Means in your constitution there is article, that is article 50, which says there should be the separations of power, especially between these three arms, that is executive, legislative and judicial. These three arms should have this separation of power. But in this case, in this particular scheme, this executive function, where the money is to be utilized, where the construction or the other projects are to be carried out, this particular function has been assigned to the legislator, right? MPs are nothing but the legislator. So actually legislator are working as executives, and this is somewhere that is disturbing the principle of this separation of power. Means legislator are working as executive, and this goes against the principle of separation of power. This is the first and most important argument against this MP-led scheme. I hope you have understood this one also. The second issue where in this scheme is implementation issues. So in a report of CAG, it was highlighted that, let me erase this one. In a scheme, in a CAG's report, this was highlighted that in place of durable assets creation, it is actually creating substandard assets which are not of that durable quality, right? So quality along with quantity, both are being compromised in this particular scheme. This was the CAG's report, and along with that, delay in orders, implementation orders are being delayed, right? So these are all our issues were highlighted by this CAG report. So we can say the implementation issues are also there. Then we come to the next point, that is very important point, that is utilization of the funds. In this utilization of funds also, CAG has highlighted that out of total 542 MPs of 16th Lok Sabha, if you see this data, 298 MPs were there who even not, they have not even used a single rupee of that 5 crore rupees for a period of next 1 year. So you can understand what is the situation. Means the money is being utilized, in a very inefficient manner. And only there were 35 MPs who had used this money entirely in a period of 1 year. So this is the issue with the utilization. And one more data, if you can remember, that is in this scheme came in 1993, and now if we talk about 2015, there were 5,000 crore rupees with the district administration under this particular scheme, and they are not being utilized. So you can say that this money is now idle with the district administration. So this is the implementation issue, this is the utilization issue of the funds. Now we come to the next issue, that is breach of federalism. So there are tier of the governments, like panchayats are there, state governments are there, union government is there, and they are drawing their power with the principles of federation. Means they are getting their power because of this principle of federation. Now the works which are being completed under this particular scheme, MP led, they should have been completed by the panchayats, right, at the panchayat level, but now they are being completed by MPs, by the district authority on the recommendation of MP. It means what? MPs are actually encroaching the areas or the functions of the local panchayats, and this is where this point comes in, that is breach of federalism. Other issues are also there, like there is no statutory backing to this scheme. Means whenever central government want to discontinue this scheme, they can, because there is no legal backing. If they want to decrease the funding pattern, yes, they can do. Means there is no legal backing, and this is the most important issue once again. Then we can say there is no monitoring and regulation provisions, because how they are utilizing these funds, why they are not creating durable assets, this cannot be monitored or regularized. Because you can see from here also 5,000 crore rupees are still there with the district administration. If this would have been there, mechanism of monitoring and regulation, this money would not have been there also, right? Now this is very important. Misuse of the money means, if you will see, let me erase this one again, the money misuse you can see with this example. The example is there is a jhuggi, that is a kind of slum area where there was no drinking water, right, and a very big fountain was constructed there in between this slum area, where the basic necessity of drinking water was not available. What was the function of this fountain is questionable, and you can say this, the misuse of the money is there and under this scheme. The second thing you can see is mostly the contractors for this work, these works are generally relatives of these MPs, or they are having some kind of relationship, and that is generally financial relationship with the MPs. So this coalition of this contractor and the MPs is also the problem with this scheme of MP led, right? So they are these are all the arguments which you can say MP led should be discontinued. There are also some provisions or recommendations of the constitutional bodies. We'll discuss that thing also. So now a question would be there in your mind, if these many problems are there, why this scheme was not challenged on the basis of legality or constitutionality in the Supreme Court or in the higher courts? This was challenged many a times. This was the period of 1999, then it was challenged in 2002, 2003, 4, 5, continuously this was challenged. Then finally Supreme Court came up with its judgment in 2010. We'll discuss that thing also. First let me discuss this one. The report of National Commission on reviewing the constitution, review of constitution, right? In this report of 2002, this commission said that this scheme goes against the principles of federalism, right? We have discussed how this was going against in these principles of federalism. So this was one body. The second body, that is second ARC in its report on ethics in governance, has also highlighted that this scheme is against the principle of separation of powers, right? Separation of powers. So you can also write these arguments, separation of power against the federalism, using these legal bodies, right, in your arguments, especially in your mains answer writing. Now we come to the Supreme Court judgment, because you have seen all the argument against this scheme, particular scheme. Now we'll balance your answer with the help of this legal validity or constitutional validity judgment from Supreme Court. So Supreme Court said this doesn't go against the principle of federalism. Why? Because the works which are being done under this scheme are generally in the areas of panchayats only. It means these works can be said that these works are being completed under the panchayat areas only, and that is why the federal principles are not being challenged with this scheme. The first thing. The second thing which Supreme Court said is that this is also not against the this principle of separation of power. Reason was that Supreme Court said these MPs have only recommendatory role. They are not the authority which are going to, who are going to decide whether to continue this work or not. Means executive function is not with the MPs, this is with the district administration. But in practical, this was the judgment of Supreme Court. But if you will think, there would not be any district authority in practical which goes against the whims of or wills of the these MPs, right? But you can conclude with this judgment of 2010 that you can also balance your answer, that this validity, these principles of federalism and separations are not being challenged by this scheme according to the Supreme Court's judgment. So this was all about this editorial. We have discussed the scheme of MPLET, what are the issues with this scheme particular, and what should be your answer look like. You can use these recommendations and the judgment of Supreme Court. So this was all about in this article. Thank you very much. You can join us here on these platforms. If you like this video, you can like and share, and thank you very much for watching this one.
Current Affairs by Forum IAS is an all-in-one program that covers the dynamic aspect of the syllabus from both prelims and mains perspective. Last year, we have helped more than 100 students crack IAS with our current affairs classes.